So my name is Gabriel Moton, professional basketball player overseas. Played in 4 different countries: Mongolia, Lithuania, Iraq, China. Being from America, going to a different country, you experience a lot. You get to live in somebody else's culture, and it really opens up your eyes. When I was in Mongolia, which is one of my favorite places that I played, actually the coldest city in the coldest capital city in the world, Ulaanbaatar, they lived in something called a gur. A gur is like it's kind of like this circular house, and in the countryside they live in these gur. They heat them up with coal. It's very, very traditional. They've been doing this for years, going back centuries, when Genghis Khan was a leader, a world leader, and they actually still practice this. So on the outsides of the city, they live in these gurs, but you go into the middle of the city, in the capital city, and you have high rises and condos. Every country is different. So I had different experiences in each country. If I go back to Mongolia, very aggressive country. Like I say, their leader is Genghis Khan. That's like their god. So when you're there, I don't know if you're familiar with Genghis Khan, but he was one of the greatest leaders, conquered like 80% of the world at one point, and he was just destroying everything. So they all think in Mongolia that they have his blood in him. He's literally the guy. You go, you see him on buildings, on vodka bottles, on hotel names, everywhere. And so they think they got his blood in them, and they think they're the toughest people. You know, honestly, between Africans and Mongolians, they believe they're the toughest, and they believe that Africans are the toughest. So when they see an African American, they're like, I want to challenge. I want to tell my friends, you know, I got in a fight with an African. So they can be a little aggressive. They're a drinking country, so you know, they're very aggressive. You can be walking and they want to challenge you to a fight. I actually got into 2 fights while I was there. You know, I had to protect myself, but yeah, it happened like that. I still love Mongolia, but they just an aggressive country. The women were great. They were normal girls. I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of girls that spoke English that can help me out. You know, get around and help me, you know, cook for me and just help me adjust. Playing in Europe, I mean, you guys know there's a lot of Europeans in the NBA. There's a lot of talent in Europe. So playing in Europe, the skill level is there. They might be more fundamental, but they're gonna play hard. They're gonna foul you. You're gonna work for every single point that you get. So it was definitely a competitive league and definitely a great experience. I played on a team called Rossini Rasai, which was the brother team for a team called Lituvius Ritas, who I was contracted by. And playing there, my city was actually a small village, very small village called, what was the name of that? Oh, Rossini. And my team owned a resort. And I would live on this resort. The resort was cool. You know, you had a pool, you had the 5-star restaurant on the resort, you had bowling alley in the resort, you had a lake to fish in, you had all these things to do on the resort. But it was cool and it was fun for the first 2 weeks until you're living there for 9 months, and everything's just repetitive. You just living in this, it's like you're living in a paradise of jail, because you're there for 9 months. You're not going anywhere. The only time I left this resort was when we had an away game, or when we had to go to the store, to the bank. I mean, literally everything was on this resort. Our basketball arena, our weightlifting gym, everything was on the resort. So I never left. Waking up every day, you had 2 a days. You know, wake up in the morning, we go to practice, go home, eat at the restaurant, go back to the hotel, go back to the resort and sleep, and come back later, we got another practice. And it's just repetitive every single day. We only played on the weekends, so it was practice all day, all throughout the week. And then I get to enjoy myself 2 times a week, you know, playing a game. So that definitely was an experience. Again, that was a great organization. I appreciate everything they did for me. but it definitely was a grind. My experience in Iraq. So Iraq, I was in Baghdad, capital city Baghdad, and I know a lot of y'all associate Baghdad with, the war and bombs and suicides, and honestly, it was nothing like that. It was nothing like the American media made it. Those people, out of all the places that I ever played overseas, I can genuinely say those people were the best, genuine people, treat me like family, no racism, no nothing. Like literally anybody, random people you walk up to, they treat you like family. You didn't see any of that, bombing and all this and that. It was just like we have, some mass shootings, and we're not afraid to walk outside. We're not fearing mass shootings every day. It's the same thing there. It's just random acts. My experience on the basketball side. It was good until I kept getting sick. I kept getting sick off the food. The food, it wasn't nothing different. I really don't know what it was, but I just kept getting sick and I couldn't adjust. Throwing up, 120 degrees every day, no AC in our practice arena, and they wanted me to keep practicing and just play through it. And I wasn't about to die about, making a little bit of money. So I was just like, y'all got to send me home. And that was pretty much my experience in Iraq. But I do appreciate that organization and everything they did for me. But I just couldn't keep my food down and keep my food in my pants. Nothing. Basketball offered and created so many qualities that I use in life that I definitely wouldn't have had if I wasn't playing basketball at such a young age and playing all my life. But I think it was used as a stepping stone. Basketball was definitely used as a stepping stone just to create the man that I am today. I've been playing, this year makes 20 years that I've been playing basketball. Since I was 5 years old. I'm 25. So obviously I love basketball, but I also know that I can't play basketball for my whole life. A lot of people really don't know this side of me. Many might do know this side of me, but through this whole process, ever since I was in college, I like to call myself an entrepreneur. I've been doing things to set myself up after basketball. I like to say that I am a businessman who just loves basketball. Ever since college, I've been building, doing things on the side, different ventures, and life after basketball has already started for me. It would be a very smooth transition for me to put the basketball down now. I can honestly say if I put the basketball down today, that I would be extremely happy of how far it's gotten me, how many doors it's opened me. It's put me through school for free, $250,000 education. It's let me travel the world for free, see different experiences. It's paid me. I can't thank basketball enough.